Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Friday. With it being Friday, once again, that means it's time for another episode of Ye Olde Weekly Beauty Chit Chat. If you are newer around here, this is a long-running series on my channel where I just chit chat about all of the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was personally loving or obsessing about over the course of the past week. As always, I have a fun little lineup from this most recent week here. So I'll go ahead and list and link everything that I'm mentioning in the description box right below this video here. If you'd like to know where to purchase these items, I usually try to find them on sale. Read up other people's reviews, look at in-depth ingredient information, yada, yada, yada. Check out the description box. It's usually a plethora of information. Anyway, I honestly did not think that I would get to film this video today. I thought I was just gonna have to kind of revisit next Friday and we'll just skip today. But luckily my boss actually cut me early today. So I did have to do a floral delivery this morning. And then after we were done with that, she was like, do you wanna go home? And I was like, can I? I'd love to. We actually have a really huge wedding that we are doing tomorrow and I have to work like 14 hours. So I was more than happy to take the rest of the day off. So anyway, this now gives me a chance to actually sit down and chill out and relax for a little while, film a couple of videos because I do personally find this relaxing. This really still is an outlet for me. I find it really calming and relaxing to sit here and talk about things that make me happy. So anyway, thanks for being here to listen to my musings and whatnot. So all right, so yeah, let's get into this week's faves, and we're gonna go ahead and start where we always do, which is with perfume. I don't have as many hours next week, so you're gonna see quite a few perfume reviews next week. I've been testing some more perfumes out, and a couple of them I'm going to be mentioning here. So these are reviews you can look forward to. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. When it comes to perfume, this was definitely one of those weeks where I was really kind of craving something different every single day. There are weeks where I become completely obsessed with one or two perfumes in my collection, and I will literally just wear those two fragrances. And then there are other weeks where I literally want something different every single day. This was one of those weeks where I was craving something different every single day. So there is no rhyme or reason to what I'm sharing with you here. It's just what kind of grabbed my attention when I was getting ready for work, and I was like, sure, that sounds like it would be delightful and might wake me up a little bit because I've had some long days. So the first duo that I want to mention here is an oldie, but a major goodie. Do any of you recognize these two bottles? This is the Elizabeth and James Nirvana White and Black. They are just separately really great fragrances. The white is kind of a clean, slightly musky floral, really beautiful, light, airy, honestly a great year-round fragrance. I always thought this one would make a really beautiful signature fragrance for someone. And then the black is a lot more musky, more of a date night, like sandalwood heavy type of fragrance, but really musky, beautiful. And honestly, I don't wear these separately really at all. I always wear them together. So these are two fragrances that I have layered from day one. I'm really bummed actually that these are not really readily available anymore. I don't know if Elizabeth and James is completely defunct now as a brand. I think it is, I don't know. I'll put like an annotation or something for that, but I do know that it's not super easy to find these two perfumes anymore. So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell because obviously the bottles are completely opaque here. I don't know how much I have left. I want to say I'm definitely past the halfway point with both of these. I'm going to miss both of these perfumes immensely. So I feel like I need to start thinking about hunting down some backups of these. Yeah, so I don't know. I love this particular perfume duo. I've loved it for years. I kind of use them both sparingly because obviously they're not super readily available anymore. But if I could get my hands on, you know, just a constant supply of this, I would probably wear this duo a lot more frequently because it just works incredibly well with my body chemistry and it just smells so pretty. It's a great date night fragrance. It's a great daytime fragrance. And I'm talking about them both paired together. It just any time of year, be it the summer, be it the winter, the fall, or the spring, this duo just does it for me every single time. Okay. Also this week, because, and I'm actually wearing this one today, it's really cloudy and overcast, and we actually are getting some rain between today and tomorrow. Sucks for our wedding clients tomorrow because their ceremony is outside, and it really does rarely rain in the summer here in Oregon. It's very rare that we get rain during the summer, but of course, tomorrow when there's an event, there will be rain. I'm a little thankful for it because we have a lot to set up outside, and they are doing their ceremony outside, whether it rains or not. They actually bought clear umbrellas to be able to give their guests. So yeah, it's happening. Whether the guests want to be outside or not, it's happening outside. So anyway, it'll make it cooler for me. But it really got me in the mood to start really plowing into this one. So it's now available. So let me know if you picked it up and what you think about it. This is the brand new Ellis Brooklyn Queen's Caramel. Very rarely do I like caramel in home fragrance or personal fragrance. Same goes for maple. This fragrance has both, but this is one of those rare times where it's actually really enjoyable because it's not the main star of the show. There's actually quite a bit going on with this fragrance. There's also some white chocolate in here. There's just a really beautiful creaminess that runs throughout. It's a true gourmand. It's really well done. I love this one. So I really want to know what you guys think about it, especially with it being a caramel and maple containing perfume. It's just, you know, like when that caramel and that maple are done right and they're not the entire focus of the fragrance, it just, it makes that those two particular notes a lot more palatable because they just don't come across quite as cloying as they do when they are in a fragrance like full force. And again, that goes for home fragrance, that goes for personal fragrance. So this is kind of a fun little exception for me here. I just really love this one. So good. Also, I got the Ellis Brooklyn Apple Love. Did you know that you can pair these two together? Should we do it? In fact, I feel like I'm kind of due for a little bit of a refresh here. So I'll be reviewing this one next week. I thought we could do a caramel apple moment. Yes, this is so good. This is a really great combo. The apple love, I guess I should say, is actually really nice on its own. I did wear this just to work one day by itself. The lasting power with the apple is there. There are some recent Ellis Brooklyn fragrances that I do not think last quite as long. Now, my Guava Granita is, it has macerated a little bit, and that one is longer lasting on my skin now, but it took a few months for that to be the case. When I first bought it, it really didn't last on my skin, which was a major bummer. But this Apple Love, it definitely stays put quite well. So does the Queen's Caramel. So, and that's a really good combo. Okay, if you have this and you recently bought this, put them together. That's another great combo. This is turning into a combo video, isn't it? Well, this one's not gonna be a combo. This one here is the Maison Kim Saint Bart's. Maison Kim is similar to Dossier, to Okja, to Twisted, to, what's the other one that I recently reviewed? The Clone, where they take a lot of high-end fragrances that are currently available on the market and they reproduce them, or they make their own versions, I guess I should say. So it's a dupe. They're a dupe brand. That's what Maison Kim is. I really actually like their bottles a lot. In fact, I have decided that whichever my favorite is from this little discovery set that I got from them, whichever my favorite is from this, I'm gonna go ahead and invest in a full size. It might be this, because the bottles are kind of similar actually to the texture that you see on the Elizabeth and James. Sorry, I don't know what's happening with my camera lately. I really hope, I kind of like reset some stuff on the camera. Like, it was having trouble tracking me in one of my last videos. I don't know if that's resolved now. We'll see when I upload this, but sorry if it's not. Anyway, this is the Maison Kin Saint Bart's, which is a dupe for the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, which for me, such a great fragrance. Listen, I would totally buy the Tom Ford, but they're not cruelty free. This is cruelty free. Maison Kim is actually, I believe they're based out of France, if I remember correctly. So, oh, it's so good, you guys. I was gonna spray it on myself, but it's not at all going to pair well with this whole caramel apple thing that I just applied. But this is a really, really close dupe to the Soleil Blanc. It is stunningly beautiful. And you know what I like about these Maison Kim fragrances? I've worn pretty much all of them for a few days each now. The lasting power is really, really good on this particular brand. So if you're in the market and if you don't want to blow the money on the Tom Ford, try this Maison Kim. This is really good. So anyway, that is it in terms of perfume. Next, let's move on into some hair care and some skincare. Earlier this week, I finished a mousse, and I specifically brought the empty can in here so that I could remind myself to tell you about this in today's video. This is the, it's actually the Paul Mitchell brand. This is the Paul Mitchell Neuro Style Lift Heat Control Volume Foam. So this actually has a heat protectant built into the volumizing mousse, essentially. I buy this at Ulta. I don't know why this is only like $7.12 at Ulta, but that's the price point. I recently placed an Ulta order because they sent me a pretty good coupon, and there were a couple things that I needed for both Stella and I. And so I went ahead and popped another can of this in with that order because it's so crazy affordable. And you know what? This is a fantastic mousse. Now, the price point has me thinking that maybe this line is being discontinued or something. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why this costs what it does, but it's a great mousse at an amazing price point. This gives my hair quite a bit of volume. I do use a volumizing spray alongside, but I tell you what, this is a really good mousse. And again, I don't understand why it's so cheap. I don't know that I should be putting the word out, because if you are a mousse person, you really should think about trying this. And then it'll probably all sell out, and then I'll be like, dang it, I should have kept that to myself. But yeah, I don't want to gatekeep this. This is absolutely a fantastic volumizing product for my fine, thin hair. I really do love it, and I think I actually love the price point even more. So yeah, anyway, if you're in the market, you should check this out. Again, I'll have it linked down below. But I decided to go ahead and put another Paul Mitchell mousse into the bathroom just to take a little break from this one, even though I do have a backup. But I have had this in my backup stash for a few months, so I figured I'd go ahead and bust it out. This is the Paul Mitchell Extra Body Sculpting Foam. This, I would say, it's pretty much on par with the Neuro Style in terms of the volume that it gives me, but this has that heat protectant factor kind of built in, whereas this does not. Now, I still apply the Paul Mitchell Hairdresser Invisible Oil leave-in prior to blow drying my hair, which is a heat protectant as well. So this just gives me a little extra heat protection, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I have loved this particular mousse for a number of years. I think I like it almost as much as the Kenra Platinum Thickening Mousse. It's not quite as good as that one, but it's pretty darn good. And honestly, this is quite affordable for this massive can here. They also have a smaller can that I think is around like 9 ounces or something like that. This one here is 16.9. So it's a little bit bigger than most mousse bottles, but it's a really, really good product. If you've never tried this, I would definitely put it on the list. So, and Paul Mitchell, I will say, I think is, even though it is a higher like salon hair care type product, I don't think the prices for Paul Mitchell is crazy outrageous. It was in like 1992 when I was in middle school and I asked my mom for Paul Mitchell products and she was like, absolutely not. You get Suave. Suave and VO5. Ooh, and Salon Selectives. Who else was a big fan of the Salon Selectives? So good. That smell of the Salon Selectives, it was like a green apple scent. Chef's kiss. I would pay good money to like get the old school Salon Selectives shampoo and conditioner. I think I used, I'm pretty sure it was probably like a volumizing one. It just smelled so good. I loved it so much. So that was my special treat, is Salon Selectives. Anyway, let's dig into a couple of skincare items here. First thing I want to mention is I'm kind of back to using vitamin C on a pretty regular basis. I go through waves with vitamin C. There are like several months out of the year where I will try to incorporate it almost daily into my routine, either into my morning or evening routine. I'll kind of alternate it. And then there are periods of time where I'm going for like 2 or 3 months without using any vitamin C at all. Right now, I'm kind of once again in the middle of my vitamin C kicks, if you will. And one of my favorite products in terms of a serum for the face that has worked really well for me over the years, the Pharmacy 10% Waterless Vitamin C Serum. This one does such a good job of overall brightening when it comes to my skin. I've never had any luck with vitamin C really doing a heck of a job, if you will, on any discoloration, either from post-breakout or for me, more times than not, it's my melasma that will act up. But this has never had an effect on my melasma or anything like that. But what I do like about vitamin C is that when I do apply it to my skin, I tend to get an overall brightening. It just doesn't affect the like specific areas of hyperpigmentation as much as my magic trio of azelaic acid, kojic acid, and tranexamic acid. That seems to actually affect my hyperpigmentation a lot more than vitamin C does. But I do get an overall brightening effect that I just really like from vitamin C. So I love this one. I love the formulation of it because it's pretty runny, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, and it just really absorbs very quickly. And I think that's what I really appreciate about it. It just absorbs quickly into the skin and it leaves my skin feeling really soft and smooth afterwards, and I get that fantastic brightening. So if you've never tried this particular vitamin C, I've had a lot of really good luck with it over the last couple of years. I've repurchased it multiple times now, so it's good stuff. I would definitely recommend it. I think that I may have found a new holy grail cleanser when it comes to skincare for me. I received this first bottle here in PR from City Beauty. So this is a new release from City Beauty, and I have been partnered with them for years now. I really do love their products. Especially their supplements, as you guys know. But yeah, whenever City Beauty comes out with a new product, they will typically send a sample to their affiliates or ambassadors, whatever you want to call that, to be able to test out and then share our thoughts with you. This is one of those releases from City Beauty that became an instant love for me. Just like the complete skin restore. In fact, I love this cleanser so much that I actually went and ordered 2 backups of it myself so that I could have it on hand. I usually try to have, especially when it comes to stuff like cleansers that I go through a lot more quickly, I try to have at least a couple of backups on hand, because cleanser is one of those things that for whatever reason, I don't really think about. And so usually what happens is I run out and then I'm like, okay, shoot, I need to like get another cleanser. So I will pop in here to this room and go into my backup closet and take a cleanser out of there. But sometimes I forget to restock that, and I don't actually have any backup cleansers right now. So I decided to go ahead and purchase 2 of these to have on hand as backup, because I really love this formulation, you guys. And now that my skin is in a completely different place, I am no longer crazy oily. I am more combo, and I actually anticipate that as we go into the fall here and we turn on the heat, that my skin could potentially be even a little bit more dry. I really am not producing very much oil at all anymore. I like that. I know that there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, I wish I had oily skin because you have extremely dry skin. But I had that for years. It was super frustrating for me. So it's kind of a novelty to have drier skin, but it really is causing me to rethink, like, what is my skincare going to look like this fall and winter, because what I did last fall and winter may not work this year. So I wanted something that was really gentle but effective when it comes to cleansers, in terms of removing anything that the first cleanse doesn't pick up. And this does it so well, you guys. It is insanely gentle and it's so concentrated. When I first saw the instructions here, it said 1 to 2 pumps. And I was like, 1 to 2 pumps? Because listen, this is one of those pumps where it really doesn't pump out much. And so I was like, really, that's it? That's all they want me to use? But it is that concentrated. 1 to 2 pumps really is all that you need. In fact, the 2 pumps covers from here all the way down to my chest. Like, you get the most gorgeous creamy lather. It does not dry your skin out, not at all. It's such a great cleanser, you guys. So yeah, I really like this. Did I tell you the name of it? It's the City Beauty Gentle Glow Nourishing Cleanser. So yeah, it has a really nice kind of jelly-like consistency to it, but it foams up, but not foaming in a drying way. It's nuts. No, it's not nuts. It's fantastic. It's a really good cleanser. So I have some backups coming my way. And if you're in the market for a new cleanser, it's available on their website now. I do have a 15% discount code with them, but I think we're gonna be seeing some Labor Day sales here soon. So I would say if you can hold off, I'll tell you about the Labor Day sale. I don't think that I actually have the information for it quite yet, but I'm sure they're gonna have one. So if you can hold off for a little while and you wanna save a little bit more money, I bet that the Labor Day sale will be a more significant discount. So anyway, love that cleanser, and I should have waited for the Labor Day sale. Just realizing I'm kind of a silly goose, but I got the 15% off, it's fine. Anyway, lastly, the Biossance 100% squalane oil. Gosh, you guys, I love this stuff. Recently, I have started applying this to the ends of my hair before going to bed. You know, I'll put my hair in one of those bonnets and just sleep with this on the ends. In the morning, I will shampoo, condition as usual. This works so great on my skin. It also works really great on my hair. It turns out it hydrates my hair really nicely. It seems to shampoo out pretty easily actually in the morning. I also like putting this on my cuticles. With doing floral work again, these cuticles are in rough shape, and there are some weekends where my cuticles are actually bleeding. They are dry, they are cracked. My hands are in and out of water. I'm working with chemicals, like it's a little bit of a nightmare. And no, I can't wear gloves. I need the dexterity of like really being able to feel what I'm doing, especially when I'm designing, and I can't wear gloves. And so it just wrecks my hands though. So when I'm in a particularly tough spot, I will take the time to use a little bit of this, especially on the weekends and on, you know, Saturday and Sunday, and then, you know, whenever I remember during the week as well. I try to make sure to rub this into my cuticles just to kind of soothe them a little bit. So anyway, if you also work with your hands and you need something that kind of helps that like dry, chapped feeling on your hands, and your dry, cracked cuticles, ooh, there goes everything. You should try squalane oil. You don't necessarily have to do the Biossance, obviously, but I have loved this particular oil for years. It takes me a long time to go through it because it obviously comes in a pretty big size here. What size is this? 3.38 fluid ounces. So anyway, I really like this product. I think it's really good. If you're in the market, you should try it. Lastly, I just have a couple of makeup items that I want to mention. The first is a new CoverGirl mascara that I recently picked up when I bought some more of this mousse here. This is the new CoverGirl Lash Blast Bond Mascara. I was not entirely sure about this, but it does have the same brush as the Clump Crusher, which is my favorite. So I really do like the applicator a lot. It has that curve to it. As you can see, it just really hugs my lash line perfectly. I will say this formulation, it's a little bit more wet to begin with. And so when I'm applying it, I do have a little bit of transfer kind of at the top here if I'm not careful. Once it dries, it's fine. It does not smudge, it does not transfer, it does not flake. But you really need that mascara to dry because it is it's a wetter formulation. I don't know how better to say that. Some mascaras are just a little bit more dry in terms of the formulation. Some are a little bit more wet. I don't always love a wet mascara formulation. I find they take a little bit longer to dry, and a lot of times I just don't have the patience for that. But I will say, I do like the lash look that I get. It is a natural lash look. I get some length, I get some decent volume. Is it the most volumizing? No. Is it the most lengthening? No. But I think it's a good everyday mascara, and it's CoverGirl. So I don't know. I figured I would go ahead and give it a try. I might actually like this formula a little bit more as this mascara tube kind of naturally dries out over the course of the next couple weeks here. I have a feeling this is one of those mascaras that I'm probably gonna love a lot more once it dries out a little bit. Sometimes that happens. A formulation will just be a little too thick to start with, and then once I give it a little while, it dries out and it's fabulous. I think this might be one of those because I do like the length, I do like the volume. It's just a little wet. So the very last thing that I want to mention from this week, I'm pretty sure I actually mentioned either last week or the week before, but I'm tossing it in again because this is a really great discovery for me. I have had this in my collection for a good long while, at least a year, possibly even more. This is a like concealer and foundation stick from Merit. This is the shade Cream. This is, first of all, such a great color match for me. It looks really light, but once I blend this into my skin, it looks like my actual skin color. So if we have similar coloring and you're trying to decide on the perfect shade, at least with this Merit product here, go for the Cream. It's such a good color match for me. But anyway, yeah, I didn't use this a whole lot after I first got it, but what I have enjoyed using this for as of late is there are mornings now where I have been waking up and I'm starting to experience a little bit of darkness on my inner corners here. I've been really lucky my whole life to have not dealt with dark under eye circles. I have always had people asking me like, what do you use to cover up your under eye circles? And I'd always have to be like, I got nothing for you. I don't have to do that. You know, I've dealt with a lot of other things when it comes to my skin, but dark circles was not one of those problems for me. So that's a thing now, which is fun. Hey, love getting old. But yeah, so just a little bit of this in the inner corner, and I just literally blend it out with my finger. It just completely covers it up, and it looks so natural, and it wears so well. It doesn't look heavy or like it doesn't get all creasy and gross. It's a really nice formulation. And another area where I have been using this very regularly as of late, I still use my Laura Geller powder foundation over most of my face, but I have been using this to go around just the like outside of my forehead here. So I've been doing like 2 stripes every day and then blending that in with my beauty blender. And what that is doing is it is covering the like edges of my giant forehead melasma patch that likes to crop up every now and then, specifically with like hormonal changes, or if I am out in the sun, if my giant forehead is exposed to the sun for any amount of time, whether I'm wearing SPF or not, it is an instant melasma like outbreak. And it's only on my forehead, but it's a huge patch. So I don't cover the entire melasma patch. What I've been doing is just the outer edges, doing those 2 stripes, and then using a beauty blender to kind of tap that in. It disguises the edges of the melasma that look a little bit more jagged. And because this looks exactly like my skin, it just helps the middle of my melasma patch like kind of look like it's a part of my skin. Like I don't have to cover up this middle section. I get enough coverage from the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten, but the Balance and Brighten does not cover enough to disguise the edges where it meets my regular just pasty white skin, right? Because the melasma it's a discoloration, and it's like a giant light tan brownie patch on my forehead. So to blend that in, I've just been doing a couple stripes and then, you know, blending the edges, and then the rest of it just gets a light layer of Balance and Brighten. And it really does look like my melasma is not really flaring at all right now, but I tell you what, it is. I'm using my little trifecta right now to try to lighten this up again, but I tell you what, this Merit Concealer Stick foundation situation, if you have not tried this, you should try it. It provides really good coverage and it's really comfortable to wear. So yeah, I will actually be repurchasing this when the Sephora Fall Savings event comes around. This is gonna be my last year ever being Rouge. So I figure I'll get this at a discount then. So yeah, it's really good. And I'm telling you, if your coloring is similar to mine, go for the shade Cream. It is a perfect color match. But you gotta be pasty. You gotta be pasty white like me. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little video here. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you are new. I really appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.